Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, Morale Boosters. Good day to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to another inspiring Q&A session of the Morale Booster podcast. And I remain your host. So the Q&A session is new to our platform. We have decided that we will be taking questions from members of the Morale Booster Empire. So if you have any question, in fact, first of all, who is a member of the Morale Booster Empire? You who's listening to me right now, you are a member automatically. For as long as you are listening to me, you are a member of the Morale Booster Empire. So welcome. And while we wait for others to join us, please remember to like and share the broadcast. I am doing the same thing right now on all my social media platforms. I know we are currently streaming on over 20 platforms by the special grace of God. I love that. Yeah, so please like and share it. Today I will be answering a question that was asked by a member of our community. And it's a question that I believe so many people will benefit from. Yeah, so go ahead and share the broadcast. I'm doing the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, the reason why I typically encourage us to share the broadcast is because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be sharing today. All right. Please go ahead and share it. All right, I am doing the same thing right now. So let's wait. Let's wait for everybody to join us. All right, let me see. Okay. So I am live on Facebook. Hello to all my Facebook friends. Live on YouTube. Hi, YouTubers. All right, let's see. Okay. And now we are going live on Instagram as well. Let's see. All right. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Join me. Yeah, let's see. Hello, Instagram friends. How are you? Yes, come on in, everybody. You're welcome. Hi, Godson. How are you? Thank you. Welcome. Please like and share it. Like and share it. Let's see who's there. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. So, welcome once again to another inspiring Q&A session. This is a Q&A session. We've asked members of the Morale Booster Empire to feel free to send in their questions. If you have any question that if you have any question that you would want us to answer regarding growth mindset, regarding leadership or time management, please feel free to send it to me either via DM. You can send a DM, or you can just leave a comment. Put the question in the comment section, and I would pick your question and provide an answer as best as I possibly can. So if this is your first time listening to the Morale Booster podcast, you're very welcome. Please remember, like and share it. I always emphasize on this because you never can tell who has been waiting for the type of information we will be giving today. All right. And once again, I want to remind you who's listening to me that every day above ground is a blessed day. Yes, it is a blessed day. So you can hear me speak right now because you are blessed with the gift of life. So if you are genuinely happy to be alive this moment, wherever you are, I want you to place your hand on your chest and say, I am blessed. Yes, you are blessed. All right, before we get started, I want to remind you again that if you feel blessed or inspired by what we do, you can support the work we do here by making a donation to the John Ugulu Foundation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and this foundation is committed to providing online coaching and mentoring services to many. So if you'd like to contribute and make a difference today, head over to our website, www.johnuhulu.com, or click on the link in our show notes below. All right. So the question I chose to respond to today, like I said previously, I have received lots of questions, but the goal is I will be picking, we will be selecting the questions one after the other, but today the question I want to talk about, or I want to respond to, is it was asked by someone, and the question is as follows. It says, how do I turn negative thoughts into positive actions? How do I turn negative thoughts into positive actions? I believe you also believe that it is indeed a great question, especially living in the world as it is right now, where we know the level of depression globally has increased, the level of anxiety globally has increased, the level of domestic violence, the level of hunger. It's very easy for us to nurture negative thoughts, right? So it's a very great question. The person said, how do I turn negative thoughts into positive actions? Well, I had to pray hard, and I asked God for guidance on how to go about responding to this question, because as humans, it's very normal for us to sometimes nurture negative thoughts, right? So basically this message will be all about sharing some ideas with you First, letting you know that negative thoughts can hinder personal growth and success. I believe you already know that, but this is a reminder. So the message will help you remember that negative thoughts can hinder personal growth and success. Also, the message will also make you understand that with the right mindset and tools, it's possible to transform these thoughts into positive and motivating actions. All right. So, this message will explore practical steps. That's what I want to share with you, practical steps on how to turn negative thoughts into positive actions. We would also explore biblical verses. We will go through biblical verses. You all know I am a person of faith, and we would also look into some motivational quotes, just to help shift negative thinking patterns into positive and empowering actions. All right. So now let's first of all start by understanding what the word negative thoughts mean, or what the words, those the two words. We need to first of all understand negative thoughts. Then after that, we would move to practical steps. All right. I believe you already have maybe a definition, or you have in your mind, what it means, what negative thoughts would mean to you. But let me, being the one being led right now by God and the Holy Spirit to respond to this. I don't know who's listening, but in my opinion, negative thoughts are often rooted in fear, doubt, or past experiences. Right? It is when you think of the worst, or you accept things to be the worst, right? So in most cases, it's rooted in fear, doubt, or your past experiences. And negative thoughts can hold us back. It can also cloud our judgment and create unnecessary stress or anxiety. And that's a fact. Now, in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, the Apostle Paul said, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Now, what did you notice while I was, reading out this verse for you? It's Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. The verse encourages us to focus only on positive things, things that are true, things that are admirable, things that can help us counteract negative thoughts. That's what that verse was basically saying, which means we have to be intentional about what gets into our mind. The mind is a very powerful place, a powerful, it's so powerful to the extent that that's where habits are formed. Every habit you have right now, it doesn't matter if it's whether good or bad, every habit is formed in your subconscious mind. So basically, we have two minds. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where habits are formed. And we must be intentional about what gets into the subconscious mind. I wouldn't go into much explanation or details on what, on the difference between the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's going to be an hour presentation, and that could be for another day. So basically, when you have negative thoughts, the only way you can get rid of those thoughts are the ways that Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 just explained it. Whatever is true, whatever is admirable, positive things, those are things you should focus on. It could be challenging, right? A wise man once said, your mindset determines your success. Change your mindset and you change your life. So I want you to repeat this after me. Say, if I change my mindset, my life will change. I don't know what you're doing right now, but I want you to repeat that. Say it with conviction. Say, if I change my mindset, my mind will change. And that's the truth. All right. So let's look at ways in which we can recognize the source of negative thoughts. Because when there is a problem, the first thing we need to do is to identify the root cause of that problem. So identifying the root cause of negative thoughts can help us understand why they arise. That's it. Figure out what leads to it. And some of the common sources could be stress. It could be fear of the fear of the unknown, fear of failure. It could also be self-doubt. It could also be self-doubt and external pressures. So it's very important that we determine the root cause of the negative thoughts. That way, we can, at that point, profile a solution. All right. There is a quote by William James that says, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So the greatest weapon against any stress, any type of stress, is your ability to choose one thought over another. Is that not true? Yeah, that's it. It works for me, right? So it's also very important for us to look into reframing those negative thoughts. When they come, we need to work on how to reframe it. All right. So reframing involves looking at situations from a different perspective to find positive aspects. So instead of focusing on what's wrong, we should always learn to ask ourselves, what can be learned from the situation? For the people who know me, who are very close to me, I see challenges as opportunities. When I am going through any form of challenging situation, I don't fret, I don't worry, I don't panic. Because I know that every challenge is an opportunity. Albert Einstein once said, in the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. Same thing with, negativity. When you're at that point where you're thinking only about negative thoughts, you should ask yourself, why is this coming to my mind right now? What is God trying to show me? What should I learn that can help me reverse it? Always look for solutions. Be solutions driven. So when things are not going your way, always think of ways to turn it around. Always look for the lessons. Always look for the positive side of it. For example, if somebody comes to you and says negative things about somebody who you hold so so close to your heart, and they say negative things, you shouldn't believe right away. Try to give a benefit, try to give the benefit of a doubt. Give them a benefit of the doubt. Don't just say because this information was brought to you, then you have to believe it. No. All right. Try to always look at situations from a different perspective and look out for the positives in them. Don't focus on negativity because it's very easy. My communication mentor, Mr. Les Brown, would always say, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. I know someone out there might be wondering, what's he saying? What does he mean by doing what is hard for your life to be easy? Yeah, if you do what is easy, like if you start procrastinating, if you start seeing, if you start thinking of how to hurt somebody, of how to revenge, those things are very easy. If you start thinking or doing those easy things, your life will be hard because you will hurt yourself, you will hurt others, you will constantly feel depressed. It's easy. But if you do what is hard, by always trying to look for the positive side of every information that comes to you, it's hard. If you tell yourself all the time that I will never get upset, it's hard. If you tell yourself that everything will work for your good, it's hard. Your life will be easy. So those are the hard things we're talking about. So instead of focusing on what's wrong, just ask yourself, what can be learned from this situation? Even in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, Apostle Paul said, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And that's the truth. So even in challenging times, God has a purpose for everything. And reframing negative thoughts it always helps us see that even adversity can lead to growth and positive outcomes. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. That's a quote from Wayne Dyer. So once again, this question was asked by a member of the Morale Booster Empire. And the question once again is, how do I turn negative thoughts into positive actions? Now, I want to share with you some action steps for turning negative thoughts into positive actions. I'm going to share just four tips right now. And the first one is you need to acknowledge the negative thought. Very important. So when you constantly feed yourself, your mind with positivity, that way you can replace negative thoughts with positivity. Number one, acknowledge the negative thought. Recognize and validate it. But guess what? Don't let it control you. Do not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good it makes you feel to accept the fact that those negative thoughts are real. No. Don't let it control you. Never. Secondly, challenge the thought. You should ask yourself, when those negative thoughts are coming into your head, you should ask yourself, is it true? Is it helpful? What is the evidence for and against it? I have seen relationships crumble just because of a lousy negative thought that one had in his or her head. I have seen great relationships crumble, business relationships, friendships, marriages, because of negative thoughts. I have seen relationships whereby those who were not even involved in what was going on, those who did not even have an idea of what the relationship between you and the next person was, from their assumptions, they were feeding negative thoughts to that person who's in a relationship with you. But because that person was not mature enough at that time to ask those questions, which are, is it true? Is it helpful? What is the evidence for and against it? The relationships would crumble. So we must be very careful about what gets into our subconscious mind. So always challenge the thought. Thirdly, you must learn to reframe the thought. Find a more positive and constructive perspective. Always, always. Like I said, those who know me very well, who are close to me, if you're coming to me with a complaint about somebody or someone or something and expecting me to support you, I'm the wrong person for that. I'll never, never. If you are coming to me upset, I will allow you vent to me. I will allow you say all the negative things, everything that hurts you, everything that makes you feel bad. But I would always ask you a question that would make you question those thoughts. I would always want to make you see the positive side of everything. I am that person who, when you come to me and make a complaint, I'll take your side of the story. I'll take the other person's side of the story before coming to a conclusion. That's who I am. I always, always, always try to stay positive. So you must always learn to reframe the thoughts. Always. As humans, it's only normal. It's human for us to constantly, have those negative thoughts. So, but we must learn. It is tough, but we must learn to reframe it. We must learn to find a positive and constructive perspective at all times. And lastly, you must take action, right? You need to use the reframed thought to motivate yourself into action. So whatever is going through your head right now, if you're upset with somebody, if you feel bad, if you feel that you're not good enough for something or somebody, if whatever that negative thought is right now, I want you to change it, reframe it. I want you to see it as therapeutic for you, to reframe it, to always see the positive side. And when you reframe it, use the reframed thought to motivate yourself into action. Don't get upset with anybody. Don't get upset with yourself. Go listen to things that would uplift your spirit. Very important. You must be intentional. Take action. Look for things that would uplift you. Look for things that will cheer you up. Call your friends. Call that friend who's the life of the party. Call that friend who's always positive, like myself. I would always speak positivity. It doesn't matter. I will never use what you say to judge situations. No, never. So call that friend. Go hang out. Read a book. That's my advice to everybody. You know, action is the foundational key to all success. So if you don't act, if you don't start thinking of ways to transform that negativity into positivity, it will lead to depression, it will lead to anxiety, and you don't want that, right? And also trust in God's plan. You must learn to trust in God's plan. I am a person of faith. I believe in God. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? So you must trust in God's plan. Trusting that God has a plan for us helps us let go of fear and embrace positive actions with faith. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. God was speaking to the Israelites in exile. He said, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." Now that you know this is God's message to you through me, do you still have any reasons to nurture negative thoughts in your mind? No. Why? Because God has a purpose for each of us. And when you trust in his plans, it helps you move forward positively. You were not sent into this world by accident. You were sent into this world on purpose, with a purpose, and for a purpose. So I want you to take down this verse. It's very important. Write it down. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Yeah. For I know the plans I have for you. That's God speaking. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. He said, what? The plans to what? To prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Always read that to yourself. Always. You can write it out. Always have that. Always remind yourself. Martin Luther King said, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. So if you want to turn negative thoughts into positive actions, you need to start today. You need to start learning how to do it. You need to start learning how to be intentional about it. Having negative thoughts up there in your head is the easiest thing that can ever happen, because it gives you, it makes you feel, it's easy. It makes you feel that that's how life is supposed to be. It makes you feel that you are the victim. It always gives you that victim mentality, and it's easy. So if you do easy things like that, your life will be hard. You will end up fighting everybody around you. You will end up, you'll end up being a pessimist. It could easily lead to depression and anxiety in your life. So trust in God. It's very important that you stay consistent with having only positive thoughts. You must intentionally develop the habit of thinking positively. It takes time. It takes time. Nothing bothers me, but based on out of reflex, when I start nurturing negative thoughts in my head, out of reflex, the first few seconds, I might want to think about what's going on up there in my head. But immediately, I always come back to my senses, say, hey, what's going on? No, this is not possible. Immediately, I flip it. I reframe it. How do I reframe it? Let me share my secret with you. I always listen to motivational speakers. Like I'm obsessed. In my car when I am driving, I listen to motivational speakers. When I am in my office, always, always. That's how I refresh my mind. That's how I stay positive. The same way I read the Bible all the time, that's the same way I listen to motivational messages. Guess what? I might be old school, but I don't, should I say I don't watch TV? Okay, I do watch TV, but it could be once in a while, maybe once in a week. How? I don't just go and, turn on the TV. No, I don't do that. If I come to your house and you're watching TV, yeah, I could join you. When I get home and I see the TV on, I might just say, hey, what's going on? But I'm not a TV person. I listen more to motivational messages, motivational speakers on my phone, YouTube. Why? Because that's the only way I can stay, I can refresh my mind with positivity. I'm very intentional about that. I am very intentional. By the special grace of God, I have a very, very normal blood pressure. No shades to anybody who's right now going through high blood, who has high blood pressure or low blood pressure. No shades to you. But I'm telling you, if you can adopt this method of constantly filling your mind with positivity, it will improve your health. Yes, it will surely improve your health. I'm telling you. So just give it a try. Be intentional about what you listen to. Be intentional about the places you go to. Be intentional about the company you keep. If you're in the midst of people who are not in the personal development space, then you need to ask yourself a question. Will these people be able to influence me, or can I influence them? For me, I'm always the influencer, except I get into places where, you know, my mentors or those who have been in personal development longer than myself. Only when I'm in their midst, you know, I get influenced by them because, I want to take a lot from them. But other than that, my regular friends, my normal friends, I'm always that person who would influence others. That's how God has made it. Why? Because there's no way darkness can overshadow light for long. So I have the light of God within me, the light of God around me. So you can also be like that. And when you have that light of God around you, you would always shine, and you would always have every reason to be positive and to bring positivity in every environment you find yourself. So you must be intentional. Surround yourself with positivity, like people, the things you watch, the things you listen to. All right. So I'd like to share some points with you, just to round up. If you want to turn your negative thoughts into positive actions, always remember to acknowledge and challenge negative thoughts. They're real, they're always there, but you must acknowledge it. And secondly, refrain from negative thinking into positive action. Thirdly, trust in a higher plan and take consistent steps forward. It's okay for those thoughts to come, but don't worry. Acknowledge them, reframe them, and trust in a higher plan. And here's my final encouragement for you. Remember, it's not the absence of negative thoughts, but how we respond to them that matters. Because those thoughts would always be there. How we respond to them is what matters. By turning negative thoughts into positive actions, we can move closer to our goals and live a fulfilling life, which is rooted in faith and confidence. In Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10, God spoke to the Israelite. He said, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So you too who's listening to me, I want you to know that God is with you in every challenge, empowering you to act positively no matter the circumstances. I want you to think about it, and remember, if you've got other questions, if you've got questions you want to ask me, please feel free to just either type the question in the comment section, or you can send a DM either via Facebook or LinkedIn, or you know whatever social media platform you're listening to me from. Pretty easy. All right. Thank you so much for all you do. I know it's we need to take life one step at a time, 1 hour at a time. Yeah, I see my friend here. Hey, Ify, how are you? Man, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and share it, because there might be somebody on your contact list who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. Thank you, everybody. Remember, if you've got a question, send it right away. We would screen it, we would respond to it. And if you're just joining me, once again, you would find my contact information on the show notes. Let's work on turning our negative thoughts into positive actions. And yes, before I forget, so I just received a copy of my this is the author's copy of a book I recently published, but it will be available on Amazon on the 31st of January. So you can pre-order the ebook. That's it right here. For those of you who can see me, I know you can see it on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It's titled "Time Management for Leaders." Time Management for Leaders. Yes. It will be available on the 31st of January. Time Management for Leaders. It's a great resource. This book talks about the effective strategies for maximizing productivity. So go get a copy now, pre-order yours, and share your feedback with me. Let me know what you learned from the book, and I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. I am very excited. This is my 5th book, and I am very, very excited about it. This is the author's copy. This one is not for sale. It's not for resale. I received it yesterday, and I am very, very happy about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any questions, feel free to send it, and we will go through the selection process and make sure we respond to your question. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.